From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
Maybe Montana isn't the place for PETA to come and start stomping around.
Squealing pigs heard in downtown Billings. Why it's called Hell on Wheels and why restaurants also heard the rallies of supporters.
I blacked out, it just didn't seem real.
A young boy's survival. How the community is set to support a boy after a lawnmower accident changed his life.
We're really in these small rural communities. Your neighbors are your family.
Plus, celebrating good neighbors. How a company recognized a unique environmental partnership after years of hardship. Those stories and much more coming up in the next hour. Good morning and welcome back to Montana This Morning on this Friday. We made it, Miller.
TGIF, good to see you, Charlie.
We made it, and you brought some great weather pretty much all week.
Yeah, it's been not bad the last couple of days. Today, more sunshine. Tomorrow, looking fantastic. Going to get hotter tomorrow. Sunday starts off pretty nice, and then we see more of this coming in. We do have a little bit of rain out there around Hysham there up Jordan, Garfield County, pushing into Rosebud County. Here in Billings, only a slight chance we could have a shower fire up this afternoon. We have this weak frontal boundary going through. Eastern Montana may see some showers and maybe even an isolated thunderstorm this afternoon in the heat of the day. Up in Williston could have an isolated thunderstorm later this afternoon too. Mainly quiet out there though this morning with temperatures, we'll just call it right down the middle, mainly in the 50s to start. Billings day planner today, man, we're looking pretty good. Our high getting up to about 79 with lots of wonderful sunshine. Again, only a very slight chance we'll see some rain. We're going to get hotter tomorrow, maybe flirting with 90 on Sunday. I think Miles City and areas to our east will have a better opportunity to get there before that system comes in and changes things up. It is going to cool us down the early part of next week. Maybe not as cool as we were anticipating, but still temperatures down into the 60s, so below average. How much rain is this thing going to give us and how much mountain snow? Models are still kind of figuring that out. We'll tell you the latest coming up here in just a bit.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Miller.
Okay, bye.
We start in Washington. This afternoon, President Donald Trump and Elon Musk are expected to hold a joint news conference on Musk's last day as a special government employee. Now, 2 other DOGE staffers are also leaving. This as the president's reciprocal tariffs against other nations were restored by a federal appeals court just a day after they were temporarily blocked by another panel of judges. Jared Hill has more from New York.
Charged with slashing through the federal workforce. Ahead of his final day at DOGE, Elon Musk not completely cut out of government. President Donald Trump on social media posted, "Musk will always be with us, helping all the way."
The entire cabinet understands the need to cut government waste. Surely the mission of DOGE will continue.
White House officials have confirmed at least 2 other DOGE staffers are also leaving their posts. On his way out, Musk sat for an exclusive with CBS Sunday Morning. In the conversation airing this weekend, Musk acknowledged he and the current administration haven't always seen eye to eye.
I don't want to, speak out against the administration, but I don't want to. I also don't want to take responsibility for everything the administration is doing.
He didn't elaborate, but one issue Musk has reportedly broken with the White House over, President Trump's tariffs, which are now back on. Wednesday, the U.S. International Trade Court ruled that the president didn't have the authority to use an emergency powers law to impose his sweeping tariffs against nearly every country on the planet. 24 hours later, a federal appeals court temporarily halted that tariff pause, though not commenting on the merits of the case.
We're even more confident that we're going to win in the end.
The White House says so far the dueling rulings haven't affected trade talks.
You will see a cascade of new deals coming out in the near future.
President Trump on social media last night called on the Supreme Court to step in. Jared Hill, CBS News.
Today, President Trump is also scheduled to travel to Pennsylvania to tout a partnership deal between U.S. Steel and Japan-based steel Nippon. Billings police continue to investigate the death of one person who was struck by a vehicle late Wednesday night. It's a story we broke here on Montana This Morning yesterday. Billings police say the crash happened just before 10 p.m. on Grand Avenue and 46th Street West. That road was shut down for 12 hours, opening around 8 yesterday morning. The name of the victim has not yet been released. Police have released no other details relating to the accident. A Wyoming volunteer firefighter is recovering after falling through a floor while battling a house fire. The fire broke out early Sunday morning on Brinton Road in Bighorn. Take a look at these photos from the Bighorn fire crews. With help from Sheridan Fire and Rescue, rushed to the scene. While inside, one Bighorn firefighter fell through the main floor into the basement. A mayday was called and crews used a ladder to pull him to safety. He was taken to the hospital and is expected to recover. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. Downtown Billings got an earful yesterday. The animal rights group PETA blared the sounds of screaming pigs from a truck outside local restaurants. The group calls it Hell on Wheels, aimed at raising awareness about factory farming. This morning, Haley Monaco has local reaction to the controversial message.
The typical buzz of downtown Billings was met with this. A realistic PETA pig truck serving up an earful of squeals during lunch rush.
We learned last night, we kind of thought it was a joke.
Longtime Billings restaurant Jake's Downtown selected as a stop on the Hell on Wheels national campaign.
Obviously everyone's entitled to their own opinion, but I think the opinion of Jake's Downtown is that we support agriculture and we support the farmers and ranchers that make Montana go round.
That support went both ways as diners enjoy lunch.
It's not a chain. This is a homegrown place. Everybody loves coming here, and for them to come attack one of our amazing restaurants in our town, we just said, no, we're just going to go support them and come down and have a BLT.
I ordered a big old New York steak.
The truck, fashioned after a pig slaughterhouse transport, plays the cries of pigs for 1 hour, with the goal of encouraging people to go vegan.
PETA's Hell on Wheels traveling pig truck is making people stop and think about the suffering that nearly 130 million pigs endure every single year before they wind up on grocery store shelves and restaurant menus.
I think it's embarrassing for those people to be doing that because our number one industry here in Montana is ag.
Maybe Montana isn't the place for PETA to come and start stomping around and raising a ruckus.
In Billings, Haley Monaco, MTN News.
A child is among the newest measles cases in Montana, in addition to 3 new infections yesterday in Gallatin and Flathead County. State health officials now report 13 confirmed cases, including 2 hospitalizations. Gallatin County leads with 10 cases, Flathead has 2, and Hill County has 1. That Hill County case involves an unvaccinated child. Anyone who thinks they've been exposed should call their local health department. A tragic accident leads to an ongoing recovery. For a 4-year-old Billings boy, a day of play turned tragic when the child was run over by a riding lawnmower, losing his leg below the knee. But through heartbreak, he's already fighting back, with the community by his side. Hannah Pettiferri has more on this freak accident and his road to recovery.
A call that changed this mom's life forever.
I got a call around 6:30.
And a day that would affect little Jalen for the rest of his life.
He's the most resilient little boy ever. Jalen had been in an accident that involved a lawnmower that had taken his left foot off.
Julia and her friend Evany Castro, stressed, not knowing the severity of the situation.
Is my baby okay? Is my baby alive? This is just changing his whole trajectory of how his little 4-year-old life is gonna go.
The little boy flew into St. Vincent, where Julia got to see him for the first time since the accident.
Seeing him at that time really just made it real.
Julia describing part of the situation as a heartbreaking moment.
He just kept telling me, like, Mommy, I was calling for you. Where were you?
With doctor's appointments and physical therapy, Julia says that Jalen will thrive, but it will take some time.
He is just so strong. Like, he is so brave.
Still, some days are harder than others.
There's days where he's frustrated and confused because it's like, well, where is the rest of my leg?
Julia and Jalen are flying to Spokane in a couple months to get Jalen fitted for a prosthetic leg.
There's no doubt in my mind that he's gonna learn quickly. It makes me so happy to see him play and be able to be normal and be silly.
Julia says that her support system has been a huge help in moving forward.
Jalen is so loved and he has so many people that care for him.
In Billings, Hannah Pettiferri, MTN News.
Thursday marked a celebration for a company that has faced many challenges recently. The Sibanye-Stillwater mine has seen a decrease in operations and hundreds of layoffs since November of last year. But yesterday afternoon, staff came together with conservation organizations reflecting on the 25th anniversary of the Good Neighbor Agreement. As our David J. explains, it's a deal that has changed over the years, but at its core is still protecting Montana's natural landscapes.
The Good Neighbor Agreement has been beneficial for the company and for those living near the mines.
We need to celebrate that we've done something good.
The value of it is really measurable.
Sibanye-Stillwater and the Northern Plains Resource Council celebrated at the Stillwater County Civic Center on Thursday. And both say the agreement is really based on how neighbors have treated each other in agriculture communities.
The rural West, neighboring is a verb, and you need your neighbors, you need help from them. You look out for what they've got going on their ranches.
Paul Hawks is a rancher near Melville, and Sibanye-Stillwater's Heather McDowell grew up on a ranch in Bridger.
We aren't just a neighbor, but we actually do neighboring, where we help each other, we hold each other accountable. We're really in these small rural communities. Your neighbors are your family.
The Good Neighbor Agreement helps keep water clean, like here on the Stillwater River outside of Columbus. It also helps deal with traffic, and it's quite a unique cooperation between the company and the environmental groups.
That's the beauty of our agreement, that we try to be proactive and figure out ahead of time if there's going to be a problem, and then if we see something, where's it coming from, what can we do?
There's respect. We really have gotten to a place where we understand each other very well. It's a very type of gracious space.
There were lots of swear words. There were lots of on the table.
But they say in 2000 it all started a little rough.
Make sure that we were not left with the legacy of contamination and degradation.
It took about 5 years and dedication from both sides willing to work together to overcome those challenges. And it's a special combination of people that created a unique agreement that can serve as a model around the country.
We were just wanting to make sure they did it right. So I think in retrospect now, maybe people are glad we did what we did.
The Good Neighbor Agreement, I think it really is the cornerstone of our operations here in Montana.
In Columbus, David J., MTN News.